Perched on a hill with panoramic views of Los Angeles and the San Fernando Valley, there's a spot where you can soak in world-class art without spending a dime. And no, it's not some underground hipster gallery in Silver Lake. It's a cemetery.
Dr. Peter Weller, and the doctor's not honorary. This is Dr. James Fishburne, and his doctor's not honorary, because we went to UCLA. Yeah, and we got PhDs from there. This is James Fishburne, my buddy. I was the director of the Forest Lawn Museum. So there's a museum up there. But right now we're going to walk into this museum and we're going to check out a couple of things. So Dr. Giacomo says there's very little filming here anymore because of?
We allow it, but it has to be approved by our board, and it's...
It can't do too much.
Can't do too much because we got to keep, serving families. But we have an art museum. It's free. It's open.
Yeah.
And
it's a great art museum, and you've done a great job with it.
Thank you.
So this is Narcissus. Now look, I just want to give you a quick heads up. You see stained glass in France, you see stained glass in Italy, you see stained glass in Europe. A lot of times that glass is indeed stained, it's painted on. Sometimes it's just the glass, go ahead. It's just the glass itself that is the color, right?
Yeah, so this is a transitional piece in the career of an artist named Narcissus. The outside parts, this is fused glass right here.
Which means what?
It means it's different colors of glass melted and fused together right
to
here.
make a color.
This is actually blown glass. You see those streaks in there? So it's blown into a cylinder. The cylinder's cut, then it's flattened, and then you get sheets of it, and you cut it and insert it here. The head of this boxer figure is painted or stained. So this is the main figure is much more traditional, whereas the fused glass is a late 20th century technique invented by Bullseye Glass in Portland, and he has been a partner with Bullseye for decades now.
Do you understand all that? I mean, that's the distinction we're going to use. Oh, it's stained glass. It could be stained glass, could be real glass, could be fused glass, could be all sorts of things. And only artists with glass really can understand the process of it. Okay, let's go on. I say that this looks like Belle Epoque. That's that period at the late 1800s, early 1900s, essentially French, where everything gets very aesthetic and very real again, with like sort of Raffaello flesh tones. That means the flesh tones are like very, very tangible and very plastic and like touchable. But what is this? Who is this person?
So this is William Adolphe Bouguereau's Song of the Angels.
Bouguereau's.
Yes, and he's late 1800s. He's sort of just prior to the Belle Epoque. I call him academic.
Belle Epoque means beautiful period.
Yeah,
right?
He is a contemporary of the Impressionists, and I hope you can tell that he was not an Impressionist. He was very, very academic. He did many sketches, many studies ahead of time, worked in a studio with models. He was not out in, a...
Giverny doing stuff around.
Exactly.
Okay, so just a quick thing. When you see an Impressionist painter like Monet, the pre-Impressionist, if you see Pissarro, or you go all the way up to the great guy who sort of supervised them all, Caillebotte. Gustave Caillebotte, if you walk up to an Impressionist painting and you take an inch, right, with the amount of paint they're throwing up there to give you the impression of the sun hitting the thing, you don't know what it is. It's just a bunch of paint. If you see figurative realism, you can go up and you can say, okay, see that baby's nose? You can go up and take a micro of that nose, and it looks like a baby's nose. In Impressionism, they ain't gonna look like a nose.
No.
It's gonna look like a bunch of like flesh tones and white tones and whatever mixed together. So this is not an Impressionist, right? This is a figurative realist from what period would you say? What do you call it?
I would call it French academic painting.
French academic. That sounds so hoity-toity. I mean, do we really want to go to? I want to go to the Louvre and study French academic painting. Yeah, but it is academic painting, right?
It is, yeah. And we purchased, this was painted in the late 1800s. We purchased it around 1940, and we had it for decades in a church, which is across the parking lot from the museum. 15 years ago, moved it in here just to protect it because we really treasure this.
Okay, can I tell you what I like about this painting? Like, I think it was Rembrandt said, walk into your museum, look at a place, find a painting you like, don't look at anything else, look at it for 3 minutes and tell yourself why you like it, and then move on. Otherwise you go brain dead, you're never gonna get out of that room. It doesn't matter whether you're art historians or art scholars like us, or it doesn't matter if like you're serious dudes.
Yeah.
You're gonna go brain dead.
Yeah.
You can't go through a museum room and go, I'm gonna look at every single Napoleonic court painter and I'm gonna explain it to myself. your head falls into the grits. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter whether it's Rembrandt or not, right?
Whenever I go to a new city or a new museum, I tell myself, you can't see everything, and that's okay. It's okay. So kind of soothe myself.
Yeah, man.
But it's
But
true.
when you're on the bus and truck tour from Omaha, God bless Omaha, you want to see everything. right?
Exactly, yeah,
And somebody's
yeah.
talking. Okay, look, the thing that grabs me about this is this foreshortening, what they call foreshortening. That means that somebody's face is his hand is coming out to you, or like in Caravaggio's Supper to Emmaus or something like that, or their head is turned. Look how the violinist angel's head is down, and you're looking at her nose, the top of her nose, and essentially what you're looking at is the top of her head, right? And the face is disappearing into it. With that violin, I'm just I'm amazed by this. I could look at this all day long, and it's an amazing painting. But let's move on. It's back to Narcissus for a second. So this is my favorite Narcissus piece. Okay, I know it's a replication of some antique figure, but who could it be?
This piece is called The Solitude of Narcissus, and he's within
What's
this.
Narcissus?
He's within a Narcissus. So it's probably the figure of Narcissus within a Narcissus flower, sort of imagined at the bottom of the ocean.
Right.
And I
You're
agree.
showing the story of Narcissus. Narcissus is a guy who looks in the water and falls in love with himself, like most of us do. So, go ahead.
And this actually has huge swaths of blown glass, some small inserts of fused glass, and then a little bit of stained glass. It's really sort of minimalist painting, but he gets the job done. It's very efficient painting. And then it's all sort of held together with pieces of lead, and you can just bend the lead with your hands. You don't have to heat it up.
Right.
Correct.
Okay,
And they're
okay.
using the same leading technique 900, 800 years ago that we're using still today.
Okay, let me ask you this though. You got guys like Pietro Cavallini. You're not going to know that name, but you're going to learn that name because he's one of the great influences on Giotto, who's the greatest influence on all painting in the world. But Cavallini, his mosaics with depth. I mean, I go into the Santa Maria Trastevere, I look at this, like the story of the Virgin, in mosaic, pieces of glass.
Yeah.
There's 6 levels of depth. Now, those mosaic pieces, those little mosaic pieces are little tessera.
Yeah.
Are those painted or are they fused?
Those
Are real.
are cut pieces of glass. And
They're real cut
seamless
pieces.
transition to our mosaic right here.
All right, seamless transition.
This is a mosaic of a scene from the Sistine Chapel ceiling. This was done in Pietrasanta, Italy. This is pieces of Venetian glass. They cut these glass. Sometimes they sort of shave them with a sander, and they assemble this incredible scene. And you get this almost like dappled light on the skin. And it's also a little bit like an impressionist painting when you think about it.
Yeah, totally. It's how the light hits it for sure,
Yeah.
but it's also figurative realism because if I take that eye, I could see in that eye, that's an eye, but at the same time, it is how the light hits it because the different shades of light. But this is a mosaic. This is from tessera. This is from pieces of glass from Venice.
The glass is made in Venice, and then the mosaic was made in Pietrasanta in Tuscany, kind of near Carrara. And this is the painting they worked from, the artist worked from, and those little comments on there from one artist to another saying like, oh, to see the smokiness of this, you need to make it darker. Oh, make this more maroon. And then they were making those changes in this scene here.
Oh man, are you kidding?
And I want to point out one element here, which is in the mosaic, it's not pixels like on a TV where every pixel is the same shape. Every tessera is a slightly different shape. They cut them, they shave them. That's a little sort of trapezoid, that's a square, that's a rectangle. So it really varies. Each piece is unique to the need.
It's different, yeah.
So, yeah.
I just can't imagine doing it now, man. I go into Santa Maria Trastevere, I think, okay, that's in the late 1200s, early 1300s. How did that guy do that? How did that guy make water pouring with people looking through curtains, people like the Virgin is stretched out on a couch. Are you effing kidding me?
I visited this studio last month in Pietrasanta, and the way they do it, it's 5 people sitting around a table. They each take a section. They're listening to their iPods or whatever.
You're kidding me.
No,
it's like Phil Tippett. I got to tell you, Phil Tippett is one of the great stop motion animators, and he went into Jurassic Park and did CGI, right?
Yeah.
Okay, he's doing the not to bring up one of my movies, but I will. Ed 209 is a stop motion animation. It's a cutout, and then you shoot, and then you put in this little puppet, and you make it move frame by frame, and there's 24 frames per second, so you got to move it, and then
It's as
And
painstaking.
then move it again.
It's as painstaking as that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'm looking at this. I want to slip my wrists, or scream and break plates. Because I don't have the patience for that, man.
No.
Oh,
They have buckets and buckets of different colors. And they say, oh, I'm going to pick a brown 42, a red 18.
Okay, tell me the truth. You got to be stoned to do this. I mean, you have to smoke serious ganja to have the patience to do this.
I honestly think you have to take lots of breaks.
Okay.
I think so.
Lots of breaks.
Yeah.
Okay, let's moving on. I can't see everything. That's astounding. I'm glad you brought that up.